Are you honed in on that thing? Or are you doing this and that and this and that and this and that all over the place? Are you multitasking? Last week, when I was speaking with you, you may recall the last thing that I said was, please do not break your momentum because momentum is so hard to build. Keep it going. Don't lose the momentum. Momentum is hard to build. So, the question that we're going to ask this week is, if you have been working on something for a period of time and you have not made the progress that you want to make, could it be because you've been acting too erratically? So, this is Mark Johnson, the founder of Bounce Back, bringing you ideas for a fit and flourishing future. I am the youngest son of Bill Johnson, and I want to thank you for watching and subscribing. Now, let's jump right into this. So, we're going to revisit the topic of momentum. If you go back to your high school physics class, you may recall that the formula for momentum is P equals mv, P being momentum, and you have mass times velocity. So momentum equals mass times velocity. Now, velocity implies motion. So when we say mass, what we're really saying is mass in motion. Now, for you to understand momentum in a simple way, in kind of a visceral way, in an instinctual way, I want you to think about what happens when you train. What do? You have to get up off of your behind. That's the mass, right? Some of you have big behinds. There's a lot of mass, but you've got to get up off of your behind. Next thing, you've got to start moving. That's the motion. And then you've got to do it frequently enough. You've got to train frequently enough. That's essentially the velocity. Okay. And when you do that, you build momentum, which is the fitness habits, the habit of working out. Okay. So momentum, of course, makes it easy to continue something or to build on something once you've already started. But the key is you've got to work for a period of time to build that momentum. And so that brings me to another point about that formula, P equals mv. There are a couple of inherent variables in that formula. They don't appear in the formula, but you understand. And those two variables are consistency and time. Okay, you've got to be consistent, and then you've got to work at whatever you're working at long enough for a long enough span of time to build that momentum. If you have no consistency or if you don't spend enough time at it, you're not going to be able to build momentum. In fact, you can build negative momentum, right? So you understand this from working out. You go frequently enough, you work out long enough, over a long enough period of time, and you just stick with it and you build momentum and you start to see your body changing. Like it works. It's real, right? So we already know the formula for momentum. We know the formula. We know how to apply it because we're already doing it at the gym. So what I'm going to ask you today is, are you taking this knowledge that you have? Are you drawing the lesson that you get from the gym and are you using it elsewhere? Okay. And this leads me into another point. There are three principles of exercise. Now, those three things are overload, reversibility, and specificity. I want to talk to you for a second about that thing called specificity because this really relates quite directly to momentum building. Okay. Now, if you've been working on something, and I'm talking about outside the gym now, and you're not making the progress that you want to make, how do I put this? Are you honed in on that thing? Or are you doing this and that and this and that and this and that all over the place? Are you multitasking? Or are you specific? Are you focusing, honing in on something and doing it for a long enough time to move the needle? Okay. Because in the gym, the principle of specificity simply says that when you focus on a particular body part, when you're building up that body part, you're not building up something else. Okay. So you're being very specific about working on a specific part of the body or a muscle group. And that is the muscle group that you're going to build up and make progress on. Okay. Everything else that you're not focused on just has to wait. At some point you will get to it. But in order to make progress, you've got to have some specificity in your training. In fact, specificity is what makes training training. If you have no specificity, you're simply working out. What makes training training is that it's very intentional. So when you are outside of the gym working on that thing that's really, really important to you, that you really, really want to make progress on, I want to ask you this. Are you acting too erratically? Look at how you're spending your time when you work on that thing. Are you trying to multitask? Okay. Or are you really focusing in on a particular task, spending enough time on it to move the needle and get it done and get it off of your plate? If it's something that you can't just get off of your plate, if it's something that's just going to go on forever, that's fine. But are you spending enough time on it to move the needle, like a chunk of time where you're not distracted by some other part of the task that needs to get done? So you stop doing this and then you rush to do this, and then you spend 20 minutes on this and 10 minutes on that and 30 minutes on this. And instead of just being specific about really knocking one thing out and moving the needle, you're all over the place. Look at what you're doing and ask yourself, have I been behaving like this? Is this what's holding me back? Do I need to go back mentally to the gym? Think about what happens when you want to build a muscle group. When you go to the gym, you don't go in and say, okay, this is leg day. And on leg day, I'm going to do 2 leg exercises, but I'm also going to do some chest, and I'm going to do some arms and some shoulders and some back. And I'm going to work on my abdominals and, my obliques. And I'm going to try to do all that on leg day. No, that is not what the principle of specificity is about. The principle of specificity says that you go in, if it's a leg day, you work on legs. You do some leg extensions. You do some leg presses. Maybe you do some squats, okay? Calf raises, but you're working on legs. If you're doing a chest day, you're doing some bench presses, you're doing some chest dips, you're doing some cable flies, you're doing things to hit the chest. You're not wandering off working on hamstrings on chest day. Specificity. So, same thing. If you want to make progress outside the gym, I implore you to be wary of multitasking and spreading your time too thinly. Spreading your time too thinly. Be wary of multitasking. Again, nothing here is revelation. Nothing here is new. You already know this. I'm simply reminding you. And that is my message today. Okay? Build momentum. Don't lose your momentum by acting erratically. If you're working towards something, stick with it long enough to make a dent, to move the needle, to make some real progress. Okay? Remember that principle of exercising, specificity. That'll take you a long way. All right? So as I said at the end of the last video, don't break your momentum, okay? Stay consistent, keep it going, because momentum is so hard to build. But once you have it, you will take off. So leave you with that today. Take that with you. Talk to you next time.